Bridgewater, New Jersey, and I'm interning at Congressman Pallone's office this summer.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm from Mattawa, New Jersey, and I'm also interning at Congressman Pallone's office this summer. Here at Congressman Pallone's DC office, the interns all give tours of the Capitol building.
Today, the other interns and I are really excited to show you around.
Hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name is Melville. I'm from Basking, New Jersey, and welcome to the Crypt. The Crypt is where the first President George Washington was supposed to be buried, but instead he has been buried at a burial place in Mount Vernon. Standing next to me is Mr. Richard Stockton. He is one of the original signers of the Declaration of Independence. All the statues in this hall are representative of the 13 original colonies. Now, as I walk over this way, we have the center of Washington, D.C. This is the point where all four quadrants of the city meet up. It is directly below the Rotunda, and now I will pass it off to Ariana, who will talk to you about the Rotunda.
We're now in the Capitol's Rotunda, right under the dome. In the Rotunda, above on the ceiling, 180 feet above us, is the painting of the apotheosis of Washington. In the painting, George Washington, our first president, is in purple robes. He is surrounded by two Greek goddesses, Liberty and Victory, and around him are 13 maidens, each of which represent the original 13 states. That painting was commissioned in 1865. And then below the dome, you can see around us is a panorama of 18 images, and those 18 images depict different events throughout American history, and it starts with the landing of Columbus, goes all the way through the Revolutionary War, the California Gold Rush, and then eventually ends with the aviation of the first plane that was done by the Wright brothers. And then around us are 8 paintings. Those were commissioned by Congress. And the one over there you can see is the baptism of Pocahontas, and then there is another painting to my right, and that is the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And then right next to me is one of my favorite statues of women suffragists, Lucretia Mott, Susan B. Anthony, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. And a part of these statues actually purposely left uncarved because the sculptor at the time figured that women's rights, the fight for women's rights wasn't over, and that one day a new leader would be carved into that statue.
We're in my favorite room of the Capitol building, Statuary Hall. So from 1807 to 1864, this actually served as the original House floor. It had a minor hiatus, however, because in 1814, this building was actually burned down by the British. However, due to some reconstruction, it came back in 1819, and it looks beautiful. Presidents such as Abraham Lincoln, Franklin Pierce, and John Quincy Adams sat on this floor discussing big legislative issues from territorial expansion to slavery. This is my favorite room in the Capitol building because of all the history that have been said on this floor.
We're currently in the old Senate building, which was used from 1810 to 1859. There we had, at 1859, we had 32 states and 64 senators who would talk about important topics of the day, including slavery, Western expansion, and economic development. Most of the furniture in this room are replicas of the 1859 furniture. However, the vice president's desk, and the golden eagle and shield are originals. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Adil Ahmed, and I'm from Woodbridge, New Jersey. Right here before you is the gallery of the old Supreme Court chamber. From 1800 to 1808, it was originally the old Senate chamber, but then from 1810 to 1860, it was restored as the Supreme Court chamber, where many important cases took place in this very chamber, like the Dred Scott decision, which resulted in African Americans being denied of their citizenship, which eventually led to the Civil War. In addition to all this, after 1860, this chamber eventually became a law library and then eventually changed to become a meeting room for the Joint Committee on Atomic Energy. And then afterwards, it eventually became a storage room until 1975, where it was restored back to its 1850s settings, which is right before you. Each of the 9 mahogany tables represents a table for each of the Supreme Court justices. And in this chamber, there's also 5 busts that represent the first 5 Supreme Court justices, which includes John Marshall and the very first Supreme Court Justice, John Jay.